Transform your cooking adventure into a masterpiece with our step-by-step guide to homemade lasagna. Let's get started. Lasagna is the ultimate comfort food, a hearty, delicious dish that brings people together. Whether you're cooking for a family dinner, entertaining friends, or meal prepping for the week, homemade lasagna never disappoints. In this video, we'll guide you through every step to perfect this classic dish, from sauces to layering and baking tips. By the end, you'll have a lasagna that's not only mouth-watering, but also easy to recreate anytime. Let's get started. Before we dive into the process, let's go over everything you'll need. For this lasagna, here are the ingredients to gather. Pasta sheets, fresh or store-bought depending on your preference. Meat sauce ingredients, ground beef or an alternative like mushrooms or lentils for a vegetarian option. Canned tomatoes, onions, garlic, olive oil, and Italian seasoning. Bechamel sauce ingredients, butter, flour, milk, plus optional nutmeg or cheese. Cheese mozzarella, parmesan, and ricotta or cottage cheese for layering. Spices and herbs, salt, pepper, oregano, or parsley. For tools, you'll need a large baking dish, a saucepan for the sauces, a spatula, a whisk, and aluminum foil. Lastly, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 degrees to save time. Once your ingredients are laid out and your tools are ready, it's time to start cooking. A good meat sauce is the heart of any lasagna, and we're going to make it rich, hearty, and full of flavor. Heat the pan. Start by heating olive oil in a large skillet over medium heat. Cook the protein, add your ground beef or vegetarian alternatives such as mushrooms or lentils, and break it apart with your spatula. Cook until browned. Saute aromatics, add diced onions and minced garlic to the skillet, stirring until they soften and turn fragrant. Build the sauce. Pour in canned tomatoes, season with salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning, and stir everything together. Let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes so the flavors can blend. Adjust the flavor. Taste the sauce and make adjustments. Add a pinch of sugar for balance if it's too acidic, or more herbs for extra depth. With your sauce simmering to perfection, you're one step closer to mastering lasagna. Next, let's make the bechamel sauce, an essential element that gives lasagna its creamy consistency and layers of flavor. Melt butter in a saucepan over medium heat. Once it's fully melted, whisk in flour until it forms a smooth paste. Add milk gradually. Slowly pour in warm milk, whisking constantly to avoid lumps. Simmer to thicken. Continue stirring as the sauce thickens and becomes silky. This will take about 5 to 6 minutes. Customize the flavor. Add a pinch of nutmeg or grated cheese for a richer taste. Season with salt and pepper as needed. A perfectly made bechamel sauce should coat the back of a spoon and flow smoothly, not too runny or too thick. Set it aside while we move to the next step. Now comes the fun and rewarding part, assembly. This is where everything comes together. Follow these steps to create the perfect layers. Prepare the baking dish. Spread a thin layer of your meat sauce across the bottom of the dish to prevent sticking. Pasta sheets. Lay down your first layer of pasta sheets. Make sure the sheets don't overlap too much to ensure even cooking. Second layer, meat sauce. Spoon a generous amount of meat sauce over the pasta, spreading it evenly. Third layer. Drizzle the bechamel sauce over the meat sauce for creaminess. Sprinkle mozzarella and a bit of parmesan over the sauces for that gooey, cheesy texture. Repeat. Continue layering in the same order. Pasta, meat sauce, bechamel, and cheese until you reach the top of the dish. Top layer, finish with a layer of pasta, topped generously with bechamel, mozzarella, and parmesan. This will create a beautifully golden crust when baked. Take your time to ensure balanced layers. Your lasagna should look even, with enough sauce to keep it moist but not overly wet. With your lasagna assembled, it's time to bring it all together in the oven. Cover and bake. Cover the baking dish with aluminum foil to prevent the top from browning too quickly. Bake at 375 degrees, 490 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. Remove the foil. After 30 minutes, remove the foil to allow the top layer of cheese to brown. Bake for an additional 15 to 20 minutes, keeping a close eye to avoid burning. Check for doneness. Your lasagna is ready when it's bubbling, golden, and the pasta is tender when tested with a knife or skewer. Carefully remove the lasagna from the oven and resist the temptation to dig in right away. It needs time to rest. Letting the lasagna rest after baking is crucial for the perfect slice. Rest the lasagna. Rest it for 10 to 15 minutes. This allows the layers to set and makes slicing much easier. Garnish, sprinkle freshly chopped parsley or basil on top for a pop of color and freshness. Serve. Slice into portions using a sharp knife and serve with your favorite sides like a crisp green salad or garlic bread. Whether it's for a weeknight meal or a special occasion, this lasagna is guaranteed to impress. Before we wrap up, here are a few extra tips and variations to make your lasagna even better. Avoid watery lasagna, ensure your meat sauce isn't overly runny, and thoroughly drain any excess liquid from fresh ricotta or cottage cheese. Gluten-free option, substitute regular pasta sheets with gluten-free ones, ensuring you still maintain the classic layering method. Vegan version, use plant-based protein for the filling, almond or oat milk for the bechamel, and vegan cheese for layering. Cheese tip, grate your own mozzarella and Parmesan for better melting and flavor compared to pre-shredded options. Congratulations, you've mastered the art of lasagna. From crafting rich sauces to assembling balanced layers and baking to golden perfection, you now have all the tools to create this classic dish in your own kitchen. Remember, cooking is all about experimenting and making the recipe your own. We'd love to see your creations, so don't forget to share your results and hit that like button if you found this guide helpful. Subscribe for more delicious recipes, tips, and cooking inspiration. Thanks for watching, and happy cooking!